even the second chances still sometimes, or like they make it at a harder level. I remember so someone got held back because of reading, and from second to third grade. So you're going from second to third grade, and you have all your friends around, and then you're not able to go up to the next grade level with your friends just because of reading. And the second chance that was given to go over reading assessment was started off at Z and worked the way down rather than starting it from A and worked the way up. So already the second chance was built in failure. It was already built in like how if you're not like already a G level reader, how are you going to be expected to start off with your second chance reading a Z? You already brought down the child's hope, confidence, and all because it's and going down from Z, Y, X, etc. It's like it just gets diminished more and more rather than if it started from A, B, C. Confidence could have built up. The next level would have been great. Sometimes, and I believe like it was really like the teacher's fault, right? Like if the teacher, it was a new teacher too, but the teacher didn't set up for success.
Dr. Blandon said, and something that happens not only in schools but also in industries is like we don't meet people where they are. And when you have a higher education, you have a higher responsibility, understanding that they can't come to you, not because they don't want to. It's just like you have acquired years of experience and wisdom and knowledge that might seem unattainable to a lot of people, but that's why you have the responsibility, the higher you are, to go down to serve, to take the initiative to serve. That's what you're called to do. You're called to go to those levels and embrace them and say, what is it that you need from me? What can I do for you? It's not what you can do for me. Because at the end of the day, believe it or not, you learn so much when you mentor somebody. Because you go through a different personality. You're like, okay, I learned this. So when I see this kind of behavior or personality, I know how to roam around it. And I can create these great coping mechanisms with them. But when you don't expose yourself and you're always in your environment, what is it that you really learn? And if you listen to what Dr. Blanton is saying, the importance of exposing yourself to environments. And what does a book do when you don't have the resources? Where does it take you? Someone else's brain, somebody else's imagination, a place in time, history, future, sci-fi, consciousness, education. And this is where, when you, like you're saying, like it's sad to hear that somebody couldn't acknowledge the fact. It's like asking themselves that question: am I being egocentric? Why am I thinking that I need to make it more difficult? He already failed. For that, that means that we need to restart from where, what things that he doesn't know, and create a program from that point. And also, don't forget about the things he knows, because we don't want him to forget what he knows. So you have to target, like maybe you don't invest 100% here, but you invest 75 here on the 25 that he doesn't know, and then you invest 25 on the 75 that he knows. So you can keep the curriculum pushing forward 100%. But it is, again, I can't say, because I'm pretty sure teachers, they wear, just like managers in the industry, like 20,000 hats, and they can't create their own programs either. It's like the DOE gives them the program. Here it is. This is what I had a chemist David said he graduated 20 years ago as a chemist, and he said they're still teaching with the same books he was graduating. They were already old. We're not even evaluating.
I don't think that it was so much of a change. We've always had a reading problem. There's always been a reading problem, right? COVID did not unveil this great big reading problem. COVID unveiled the access and accessibility, right? That woke us up. But we've always had a problem in this country with reading, going back to anti-literacy laws. So I just want to preface what I'm about to say with the fact that our brains were not wired to read. We have to teach it, right? It does this great thing, right? It rewires itself, right, to form pathways for reading to develop. A lot of people don't understand that. It's very different than language. Language, you can put a child in a room full of people who are speaking and they will speak. You don't have to teach them how to talk, right? That is not going to happen for reading. You cannot sit someone in a room full of people who are reading, whether they're reading out loud or silently. It's not going to happen. You have to teach it to read, right? That starts very early. What we think is reading starts in kindergarten, and then we build these habits in kindergarten. And if we think that, we're 5 years already behind, right? Reading starts really at the moment of conception. How? Well, all of the stuff that mom eats, all of the environmental pressures and stress impacts the developing brain. Reading is all about the brain. The brain is the main character, right? And so if we understand that, then we have a point of reference. And so how do we build stamina, right? Because in order to learn to read and read well, you have to build stamina. I'm like, this is a race, right? Not for the quick athlete, but it's endurance. And it took us years, decades to get here. My book has only been out since August. It's not going to take months for us to get out. And so people have to come to the point where I came to and say, okay, I reflected. Now I see, and now I'm going to do better. When you know better, you do better.